I think it was just before Thanksgiving, if I'm correct.
Yes.
The date was November 23rd, 2010. Take us there, if you would. I know it's tough, but if you would take us there.
Yeah, I actually I had driven by my house and I saw Jim was standing out in the driveway with the neighbor. And for some reason in my mind, I was like, nope, I'll go there and fight with him one-on-one, but I'm not going to go 2 against 1. So I went and I actually told some of my very good friends, I was telling them goodbye. They didn't know that, but I stopped a few places and I was seeing them and what I was telling them was goodbye. And then the last thing I did, I made one phone call to my best friend at the time. And I was just like, you know what, Donna, I have to go. And she said, please don't go. He's crazy. Don't go there. But I had to, because Teddy, I wasn't going to run the rest of my life. You know how I was a fighter, that I'm not going to look over my shoulder for the rest of my life waiting on this guy to come kill me. So he's going to get his chance right here. You're either going to kill me and I'm going to be done, or I'm going to live through whatever you have to offer. And that's the attitude I went in with. He was at the house and I told him I have a terrible headache, which I did. I laid down. I thought, as soon as my head stops hurting, I'm going to the gym, because I was going to get back in shape and fight again. And the whole time I was on the phone talking to him, I can hear him sharpening a knife. But it was no big deal because he did it all the time. He had knives around, he sharpened a knife. But this time he stood right out in front, right by the bedroom door, sharpening a knife, calling people, telling them I was a bitch and I was a lesbian and I was this and I was that. And then finally he came in and I was on the phone putting my shoes on because my head's still hurting, but I'm like, I'm going to go for a run. I'm just going to run until like my head explodes. I don't care. I have to get out of here. And so I'm putting one shoe on. He's standing in front of me. I'm talking on the phone and I said, I have to go. He said, I have something I'm going to show you. And me, because I'm already in the frame of mind, I'm getting back in shape. I'm going to fight again. I thought he had a boxing contract, and he kept putting his hand behind his back. And finally I looked and I saw he had a knife stuck down in his shorts. And when I saw that knife, I said to him, what are you going to do? Kill me? And it was like instantly, bam, bam, bam. He started stabbing me. And the first stabs, I didn't really realize, even though I had seen the knife, I didn't realize that he stabbed me until the fourth one. It went through my breast, and then like blood went everywhere. And I'm like, you stabbed me. And then I tried to kick him away from me. When I tried to kick him away from me, he cut my calf muscle almost completely. It was just hanging on my leg. And we fought, we struggled. I tried to get away from him. He got me down the floor. He's pistol whipping me. He's banging my head into the dresser. And I told him at that time, I was like, I don't know. Are we bleeped out? Can I say what I said to him?
Yep.
I said, motherfucker, you cannot kill me. And I meant it, just like the sun came up today. And he hit me some more. And finally, I felt a gun in his pocket. And when I felt the gun in his pocket, I'm like, I got to get that gun from him. I got to get the gun. But I couldn't. I wasn't strong enough. So, I'm a West Virginia girl. So I understand if you kick out the clip, eject the clip, he would only have one shot at me. So that's what I did. I was able to get the clip out knowing he had one shot. But I was like, well, you got one shot, in my mind. That's it. So he left. He stopped beating me up and stuff. And he kept walking in and out of the bedroom. And at first I was like, I could hear my lung gurgling. I'm going to die. My lungs punctured. And I'm like, please, I'm sorry. I tried all this stuff, like being nice. And then I realized he can't let me live. He can't let me live because I'm going to tell somebody he did this to me. So then I just told him he's a piece of shit. I've always hated him, all those things. And finally, after about 45 minutes or so, he came in, he stood at my feet, he took the gun, and I told him, you don't have the balls to shoot me. And he shot me with my own 9mm, missed my heart by about 3 inches. And I just prayed. I just prayed at that point. I said, God, please show me some way to get out of here. And that's what happened. I heard the shower water turn on. And when I heard that water turn on, I knew that was God telling me, get up and get out. And I got up. I took my car keys. I took the gun with me, actually. And when I got to my Corvette, I had the wrong keys, had the keys to the other car. And I said, well, I'm not going back in that house. So I went in the middle of the road and basically carjacked somebody. And he took me to the hospital. You know, thank goodness we were only about 3 or 4 minutes from the hospital. And they got me stable and life flighted me down to the trauma hospital. So, you know, God has a plan for me, Teddy. I don't know what it is sometimes, but it's a plan. And I hope I hope I'm doing what I'm supposed to. I think I'm making a difference. I'm sharing my story. I'm talking to people about domestic violence. I'm talking to people about sexuality, about just being the underdog. No, it does not matter where you're from, what your circumstances are. Dream big. My dad used to tell me, dream big.
You know, I feel like crying. No, I'm just saying hey, listen, I shouldn't be crying because it's a story of triumph. You know, it is a story of triumph. In the end, I think that it sounds like a victim story, but it's not. It's a survivor story. It's a winner story. It's a story of a true fight. What do you fight for? You know, it doesn't have to be in a ring. Right. What do you fight for? And it's a great story. I hope everybody goes out hearing this from Christy herself. I hope everyone goes out and buys this book. It deserves to be read. And hopefully it can help people. That's how I look at it, that it can help others. I don't know how you look at it, but I would think you might look at it the same way.
Absolutely. And you know, I know that you have, you know, hundreds of thousands of people listening to you that are a lot of them, and the majority, I'm sure, boxing fans. But this book is it's not a boxing book, really, as you just said. It's the boxing is the backdrop. It's got some good boxing stories in there. We talk about Don King, we talk about Mike Tyson, but it's a survival story. It's an underdog story, and to me it's a fighting story. It's not a boxing fighting story. It's a life fighting story. Keep fighting, and you know, only good's gonna come if you lay down. You know, you lay down. There's no need to lay down. Keep fighting.
Where is he now? I would imagine he's in a penitentiary, but well, tell us, if you can, what happened with that as far as the court process.
Right. So after we went through the trial, he was sentenced, because it was in Florida, thank God, he was sentenced to 25 years, day for day, no time off for good behavior, no nothing. Does not matter what happens. He will not get out for 25 years. And at that point, he will be, I think he'll be 92. Even though in my mind, I'm like, that son of a bitch is going to live to be 92. So he has one more shot at me. We'll see. We'll deal with that. But it's been about.
When he gets out, you can break his hip for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Ken.
I'm hoping that, you know, I thought to be, this is terrible, but I hope he lives 24 years and 24 years and 10 months, you know, right there when he's almost ready to get out. But